Hello my friends. This time I'm going to demonstrate painting with a winter scene, and I actually painted a thumbnail with the idea in my head. So I'm going to pass this idea to the actual watercolor paper that I use, that is the Arches 300 grams rough grain. So I can show it to you right here. And I like this kind of paper because it really accepts a lot of water. So it's good for this kind of wet and wet style that I'm going to demonstrate today. So here is the thumbnail, and I don't know if you can see the drawing that I made. I put a snowman with two kids, a Christmas tree on the right hand side, and they are in this wintry scene that you will see. We approach it with the watercolor afterwards. So in order to do that, I'm going to sketch this right here on the paper. I'm going to leave this in here so you can see, and let's do it. In order to do this kind of scenery, I like to have, this is the focal point. The focal point is the snowman. So I like to, don't put it right in the middle, just put it kind of like towards one of the sides. And so in this case, I'm gonna just do it over here on the, kind of like towards the left hand side of the paper. And then we're just gonna do the top of the snowman, middle side, and then the bottom part. And then I will add the hat. Has a hat. I hope you can see this. And his nose, he has a scarf here to the left, and then it's a little stick with his arm, and then his eye. And then we're gonna draw the kids. We'll draw the big one first. So let's do the part of the body first. So he's kind of leaning towards the snowman. So would you just make a little rectangle towards that way, and then the legs are gonna be kind of like little triangles, and then the head is not as big, it's just little part of here. Let's make a little round, and he has a hat that is like in a pointy way, and then the hat will be kind of like that way. And we have a hand here that will come out, and then he's like with a globe in his hand. Okay, so that's the first kid. And then the idea was that to put another kid looking at him or playing with him. So I'm gonna put it right over here. He's younger, so it's a little shorter. So let's do the head first to position his body, then add the rectangle here, and then two little legs that are kind of triangles, and his hat is gonna be this way and pointed this way. Okay, so I think we have the sketch ready to go. Maybe his arm is here, and he has a globe, and that's it. Not that much of a description here. We will finish this up with the watercolor effect. So they are sitting here, and they are in the snow, in this slope of snow, and we have trees. I'm not going to sketch all the trees. I'm just gonna sketch the big ones. So let's say we have one tree here, so you just go like that, and just like that. And let's imagine that there's another one over here, but it's more in a distance. And I want to add this Christmas tree to the left, like I have it on my sketch. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just gonna make the idea of it on my paper, but we will do it straight with the with the watercolor. And so you get these lines here on the horizon. You just erase this part of the lines. You don't want this. And on this side of the painting we have another big tree, so let's make a big one here that goes all the way to the top and really thick, and it will have some kind of branches coming out this way and this way, and then we have another one like coming here, and that's it. I'm not gonna paint all this in pencil because we can do some of them with the watercolor, so I'm going to erase this part of the horizon, and behind them there's gonna be other trees in the distance that I will use the watercolor to make them look in the distance, because if you will make them a little more faded color. The ones in the front are going to be darker, the ones in the back are going to be lighter, but you'll see this with the watercolor effect. And then behind this there will be other trees. So we have the sketch now. Let's start painting. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the background first to make it more interesting. In order to do the background, what you need to do is use a big brush. In this case I have this one that I just bought. It's a Da Vinci 20 Castaneo, really good brush. It's a mop brush. What you do is just get it wet in water. I'll bring the water here so you can see. And I have this rag next to me that I used it all the time to clean up the brush or don't make it so wet. And I'm going to just wet the paper in the background to work on the sky. So let's do this. I'm gonna go around the snowman, around the kids, and kind of like around here behind these trees. I'm trying to wet the stuff that I actually gonna paint right now. I'm not wetting everything. We're gonna leave the stuff that is not wet is not gonna get the color. So that's the trick. So now we have this wet with the brush, and I'm gonna start adding some colors. So we're gonna make an interesting sky here. So I have my brand clean new palette, and I'm going to use the ultramarine blue, which is I think is this one. Oh no, this is the tallow blue. The ultramarine blue will be this one. See, you can tell it's brand new. I'm trying to figure out here. And you just put the color on the top right there. See, it's wet and it's really smooth, so the color goes, try to make it like smooth in between. I'm gonna leave the whites in between the trees, but if you cannot do that, it's not a problem. You can just let it dry and it will be okay when you paint on top. But I'm going to do this just the way I'm showing here. Leave the blanks for the trees, so it makes it easier for me. So I go straight with darker color on the top right here, and then I fade it out a little bit towards more to the center. So what you do is you just put more pigment on the brush at the top, and then you clean and go slide it on the bottom. So I want to have a nice effect of like colors, like a sky with different colors. So I'm gonna use some yellow here. So in order not to get this mixed with the blue, because it will become green, you just work far away from the blue and you add the cadmium yellow right here, and try to just put it on so it doesn't mix right here. It's mixing, but it's not that bad. And then I put some yellow here and yellow here. You notice that it's very strong, but believe me, colors in watercolor, they dry way lighter than what you see right now. So don't panic. This is really a good thing, that when you put a lot of color, it will be dry really nicely. And then I'm gonna add new gum brush. This is a new gum budge. This is a color that is a yellow that is a little stronger, more over here, towards close to the kids. And I'm mixing the colors in with the paper, right on the paper. You can tell because the paper is wet. The colors are going to mix up right there. Then I'm going to add a little bit of burnt sienna. Kind of confused a little bit with my new palette because it's all brand new colors. And I will put it here on the bottom, close to the bottom. And be careful around the kids. Leave some whites in between. If you don't have that much control with your brush, you can use a smaller brush. I like this brush because it has a really nice point, you can tell. But if you don't have this nice pointy brush like this big, you can get a number 12 like this, and it will do the same trick if you're worried about the control of the big brush. But I'm happy with this one, so I'm fine. Or maybe we use this one for the rest. And then we're gonna put purple. So I'm gonna use Moon Glow color, which is in case this one. And I'm gonna add it on the bottom. And because it's wet, it mixes it up with the other colors, if you can see. Yeah, it's better to use a smaller brush right here because the space is limited. So yeah, go for a smaller brush with a pointy, really pointy tip. And I'm putting this, and of course the snowman and all this is white, so leave that white of the paper. And we're gonna put the color right here and right here, and see, we're getting a really nice effect. I'm not gonna put too much on this side because there's gonna be a Christmas tree on this side, so I think it's gonna be okay. Put some more yellow here and mist, and there it is. We just have okay, so now we're gonna have to let this dry. So in the meantime, I'm gonna start working on the front part. So let's start with the Christmas tree. So we have kind of like this kind of brush to make trees. It's a fan brush, but if you don't have one of these, it's fine. We can use any brush, and you just do this to have the effect of the leaves. So I wanna get my brush in the water, dry a little bit, and I'm gonna go with the greens. So let's start with a lighter green. Let's use this is spring green for the lighter color. And if you don't like the color, we can just mix it up with a little bit of yellow, so it's a little less yellow ochre. If you think it's too bright, you see the color is better that way. And we're gonna do the light color on the first. You tap, 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 and it's a little too wet. So if it gets too wet, you can just use your paper towels and tap a little bit. I got a little bit of color here for some reason. It splashed, and that's it. So we're gonna have to put darker colors. So let's say that the light is coming from the right to the left. So we have the light color over here, and then we use a darker green. Let's use this Cascade green in here. By the way, all these colors are from Daniel Smith. I like the Daniel Smith colors. They are really vibrant and really good and professional colors. And basically, when you're doing watercolor, it's better to invest in some really good colors and good paper, and you won't get so many frustrations on the way. I really recommend to use good quality paper and good quality paints if you can. If you cannot start with so many colors like I do have here, just get one of the small little with the basic colors, the yellows, the blues, and the reds, and you can mix all those colors together, and it will be absolutely perfect for beginning to paint. So if you have the money, you can afford it, I would definitely recommend that you have good quality paint. That will save you a lot of frustration. So anyway, this is getting a little too wet. I'm gonna have to let it dry for now, because see, the paint is kind of bleeding here, and when this happens, no worries, just tap it up with the toilet paper, the paper, and it will go away. Okay, I'm gonna let it dry for now. And this part I think I can start working on it. With the number 12, you're gonna grab a little bit of burnt sienna, actually this is not burnt sienna, this is burnt sienna. See, I'm confused with these colors. Burnt sienna, and I'm gonna use a little bit of neutral tint to make the color a little darker. And I'm gonna make, let's see, you should not be touching the paper the way I do, but I'm just trying to figure out if it's dry enough to do it. So from the bottom to the top, I'm gonna start painting the tree trunk, and make it move. And then I will add a little bit of burnt umber. Let me see. This is burnt umber. And try to make this side a little darker, because we have the light coming from this angle. And this paper is still kind of wet. I'm gonna have to wait. Let's wait a little bit. Let me go back and dry this part. So after drying a little bit the paper, because it was pretty wet, I'm gonna start using painting the front with the trees and stuff. So I already paint this tree, and it was bleeding with the background because it was a little too wet, so we had to fix that. And it's good that this happened so I can show you how to fix stuff like that. I'm gonna use the burnt sienna again with a little bit of burnt umber, and we're just gonna have darken over here on this side, and that's it. And then let's create one of those branches. So we can just use the burnt umber and neutral tint and just come this way and at the branch. You can use a smaller brush, a more pointy brush. I call it a needle brush, or you can also use a rigger brush. That is this one, is these pointy ones for the branches. But if you still have problems with that, you can actually use a stick, a little pointy stick, to do the little branches if you don't have control for that. But I can show you that later. In the meantime, we're gonna use this for the trees, and this one over here, we're gonna make it like a birch tree. Oh, see, this is what happens when you are moving paint around. It's just no problem. It's just a little bit of a paper towel, and that's it. Let's make this one as a birch tree, and it's kind of like a gray color one. So I'm going to use a mixture of ultramarine blue, which is this one, and burnt umber. Oh, actually that was not burnt umber. Okay, hold on. Where is the burnt umber? I lost it. That's too hard. That's too dark. Where is the burnt umber? Oh, the browns. Oh, this is the burnt umber. Okay, so it's a mixture of burnt umber and ultramarine blue, and you get a grayish color. I know you can see that here when I move it to the camera. A grayish color, ultramarine blue and burnt umber, and you get a grayish color. And then I'm gonna use this color over here on this tree. See, it's not that. And I'm gonna make this kind of like round with the brush, round effect. And then I'm gonna lift some of the color with you just water the brush and take some of the paint out, clean it up with the paper towel, and just lift the color. See, I want more color on this side here, and the round effect on this side. And you just see that I made this movement with my hand, so you get the roundness. Make it lighter, and go all the way to the bottom. Make the left hand side a little darker. Light is coming from the right hand side. and we're gonna go all the way here. Let's see, and some light color here. I don't know if you can see my palette. Let me see. I'm gonna move it towards here so you can see my mixture. There you go. And just make it like that. Clean the brush and leave the color. Okay, so now we have two of these trees. I'm gonna get the rigger brush and I'm going to use a little darker color for the branches. Notice that I hold the brush from a higher point and just gonna do this like coming out of the tree, and it's not painting because it doesn't have enough water. And very slow and very tight, you just use your hand to make it. I'm gonna leave this alone for now because it's still wet, and we come back to that later to make more branches. This is the thing with watercolor, you need to let the stuff dry to do the effects like that, but at the same time you want to use the looseness to this effect. Look at that, isn't that cool? You just put a little bit of water with the paint and it gives you effect right then. Okay, so I'm not working with the in the middle right now. I'm gonna use this for the last part. I'm gonna work on this side now. So I'm gonna make this other tree darker because it's on the front. And let's use again the burned umber and the ultramarine blue mixture right there. And I'm gonna come from the bottom to the top. And I'm going to go like this. The reason why I like this paper is it gives you that texture that it's pretty fun, especially when you're making trees. You have these gaps in between. And then I'm gonna keep on adding the color here. More ultramarine blue with the mixture of the mixture of the ultramarine blue and the burnt umber, and we're gonna have that darker here. I'm gonna use more of the blue here, and put some darker color on the left hand side. Okay, that tree is a little bit too high up. Let's put it lower down because it's closer to us. And we leave this part white because that's gonna be the snow right here. Okay, this tree is in the back, so the tree in the back is gonna be a little lighter. So we're gonna just, in order to be lighter, we don't press so hard and we don't put so much paint on it. That's basically what it is. And this tree is light, and this one over here is a little lighter, but I'm gonna have to make it a little darker because the color blend with the background. So I want to make it a little darker here, but not as dark, not as dark. And try to use your wrist and your hand towards where you want to go. Don't, if you grab the brush too close, there won't be so much looseness. So if you have it a little higher, it's easier to manipulate this kind of movement. Even with this pointy, I don't need to use my rigger, but if I want to do a little more of detail, then I'm gonna go and use my rigger brush, and I'm gonna do the branches. There you go. Rigger brush is really fun, but it's for details. Don't use it to try to make something big. It's more for details. So here, for example, we have this branch that's coming from here, and I'm trying to make it darker on the way. I'm confused with this new palette. I'm getting colors that I don't need supposed to get, but that's okay. That's the beauty of watercolor. Okay, and this one in the back is really light, so we're gonna do lighter with the rigger, and just like that. Okay, just leave it like that for now. We're gonna work with the Christmas tree. We have the base color that is light, so now we have to add some darker color. So I have all these beautiful greens over here, so I'm gonna try to use this new one that is called Duochrome Cabo Blue. It's kind of like a no, actually it's no, I'm sorry, it's Sourceside Genuine. I will show you in a minute the name of the tube, but I kind of like the color actually. See, so I am not using the fan brush, I'm using just this, and I'm just kind of like tapping, tap 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 tap. I want to use this other green that is the Terra Verde green. That's a new green that I just got, and see how it turns out. And I'm just tapping. Always remember to leave some whites when you're making trees. Okay, maybe we use the fan to give it a more smooth idea. This color is a little too wet, so I'm gonna just tap and see what happens. Okay, and we use green again, the Cascade green, and try to make with the point some like a little pointy things, pointy movement. And I said this is what's gonna be a Christmas tree, and I need to add some colors to it, some ornaments or something. So we're gonna have to let this dry so we can do that kind of effect. And just keep on going. The bottom of the trees are always darker, so I would use a little bit of this is indigo with the green, with the dark green, to make it darker. And here, just okay, I think it's pretty cute. We're gonna have to make a little the trunk, and lift a little bit of the color on the side. You see what I'm doing? Lift the color and let it go. Okay, while this dries, we're gonna work on the snowman and the kids. Let's do the snowman first. Snowman is white, so that makes it easier. The paper is already white. So let's work on his hat. Let's use indigo for his hat. With the point of your brush, and very carefully make the part of the white, leave the white part of the hat in there. Okay, let's make I'm gonna grab a smaller brush. Let's say where is my other brush? I have a number 4 here for the details, and I'm gonna make the scarf red. So let's use the organic vermilion, which is pretty strong color, but I think it would be fun for this. It's a Christmassy one. And let's make the scarf around his neck. You need a special smaller brush for this kind of details. Little bit of color. I'm doing it wet on dry. This part of the paper is dry, so it's easier to manipulate. And maybe I use a darker red. In this case, we can use some quinacridone magenta and put some highlights. Let me see. We have this part of the scarf. Put a little darker here. Maybe use the quinacridone rose a little darker to put it over here on the bottom. Mix it on paper, and that's it. He's a happy snowman. And then the nose, of course, is orange, so let's use this permanent orange that I have here and paint the nose orange. See, because it's a small part, we can just use this small brush, and it's not wet anymore, so we can have control over here. Okay, so because the snowman is white, we're gonna leave the white of the paper, but we have to make some shadows, so to give him some volume. So in order to make a shadow, I usually use the combination of lavender. I'm gonna move this over here so you can see the combination of lavender over here. Sorry, I'm gonna move this. Lavender, which is an opaque color with a neutral tint, to make this kind of like shadowy color. And we're gonna use this over here on the bottom. Put more neutral tint if you want, just a little bit, and lift the color too. Just put a little bit and then use more water and mix it up to give volume to the snowman. And then it has like this little part over here, and this over here in the face. Okay, and some color here. The light is coming from the right, so it's better to make it darker on the left hand side. So just put it here, more neutral tint, and there you go. There you go. The external snowman, I will go with the details a little bit later because it needs to dry. So now we do the kids, any color for the jackets. Let's say this kid has a orange jacket. Let's make it, maybe not because the background is orange, so we need the thing to pop up. But how about a blue jacket? So let's use the cerulean blue, maybe cerulean blue for the jacket, for this kid. The color it doesn't want to cooperate. There you go. I just put the color all over with the arm. And then we throw a little bit of phthalo blue on it for the shadow. On his arm. And that's it. And then the pants are gonna be gray, so let's use this Alvaro Alfresco gray for the pants. And his hat, how about the hat green? This spring green is fun. So let's make it here, and you leave some space here in between. We will leave a light on the top. So leave some white over here, and this doesn't want to cooperate either. Because sometimes the colors get too dry. See, I'm leaving this white spot here. I don't know if you can see that. And then lift some of the color, like I show you. Leave some of the color. And then maybe put some darker green on the other side. Maybe we use this darker green here, that duochrome emerald. I don't know. There's the terra verde. Doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. The colors of the faces are always you can just do a combination of yellow ochre with a little bit of red to get the skin tone. Let me see if I can see. You can see what I'm doing here. Yellow ochre and a little bit of red for the face, and just put it in there. Okay. Don't worry about this part over here. I will fix that up later. If it bleeds, you just use the paper. And then let's make the gloves black. Black gloves. Okay, so that's one kid. Put some more shadow here on his leg. That's the thing with watercolors, it dries and then it's so light. So there's one kit, and the other kit has, let's put like a fun color. How about let's use some of this color, lavender on his hat, and let's leave some white over here, and let's make his coat. How about if we make it let's see what color we should make it. Let's make it this color. Maybe we get it some blue, maybe. No, but he has how about let's make it orange? Why not? See, we're creating a whole story here with the kids in the snow. And the fun thing is that it's your own story. You can make the same thing with different colors, and it's another story, totally different. The pants are gonna be black again, and then this got kind of weird here. And his glove is gonna be black. And we still need to make the face. So the face had the combination here, yellow ochre with the red, and let's put it here. So basically we have all the stuff ready to go. Kids that have the faces. Okay. Okay, now that this is a little drier, we used the rigger brush. What is my other brush? Or my little pointy brush. Where is my other pointy brush? I don't see it. I lost it. Oh, here. This, I have two of these. I prefer the number 4 for this. Okay, and let's use some of that indigo, which is this one, and make the eye of the little snowman, and the stick that is the arm. It's a little too skinny. Okay. This jacket, the orange jacket needs something. I think I'm gonna put some red on it to make it pop up, and I'm gonna put some color over here and over here, and let it bleed. Okay, let's get it. So there's a gap here on the yellow in the background that maybe we can fix, because we got like, it's kind of weird. So I'm gonna go with the yellow and go very carefully around here, around the kid, and maybe mix it with the New Gum Bunch and add it over here another over here. No problem. Okay. This is getting really cute. The Christmas tree is still kind of wet, so maybe we work on the snow here. I actually forgot to put some with my pencil some marks of the snow. The kids are standing in there like that. So we're gonna make the shadows in the snow. So let's use the neutral tint and the combination of neutral tint and lavender for the shadows. Let's say that the sunlight is coming from the side, so the kids are like standing over here, so the shadow will be going this way. Very, very soft, the color. Don't go too dark. And then make that kind of like the slope where they're standing up, and then the snowman, and all the trees are gonna come this way. All the trees are gonna come this way. We have the shadow of the tree here, and then the trees here, and the trees here. And be careful with this, because you don't want the shadows to be so dark. You have to really lighten up the color with just a lot of water, so it looks more natural. And this actually makes the image way more credible. Okay, so I think we have the shadows now. Let's add more of the trees in the background and the bells over here on the Christmas tree. So let's use the rigger brush, this one with the pointy, and make some ornaments. Let's say reds. Let's use this darker red, which is the quinacridone magenta, and I think it's not that red anymore. So let's add some ornaments, just little balls. Leave some whites on him. Leave some whites. Leave some whites on it, and let's add another one here. I think that's enough. Okay, I will come back to that later with the permanent white, so we will have an effect in there. Now I'm going to make some other trees in the background. So the trees in the background, they need to be a little lighter. So I'm gonna use the burnt umber, little light, and I'm gonna add one here. See, it's light. Don't press too hard. And then another one here. And let's make one here that has a white spot, so let's do this here. And another one here. And go always light, really light, and from bottom to top with your brush. Just brush. Bottom to top. Let's see, add another one here. I think that's it. And the shadows, don't miss the shadows because I add more color. So let's add some shadows on here with the new trees. That's pretty cute. Okay, to finalize the painting, we had to do the details. We want to add some snow on the branches and some whites on these Christmas balls and some darker on the faces and stuff like that. So in order to do the snow, there's two tricks. We can use a little bit of white tempera, and because this one is a different kind of paint, don't mix it up with the watercolor because it will make it opaque. So we need to be careful with that. We use another container and don't mix it up. Or you can use this thing called Pro White. That also works perfectly for this. So let's use it. I'm just gonna use my brush here, my pointy brush, and I'm going to use some of that color, the white color, on the branches. And we're gonna add some snow here, whatever you think is better. And let's add some, and don't overdo it, of course. We can just put some color here and some color here, and then on the Christmas balls add a little bit of white, a little point over here, so they look bright. And let's say the hat here, and the hat here, and some white over here on his jacket, and maybe some snow on his thing. No snow here. So you can go everywhere with this. And one effect that is really amazing and I really like is to use a toothbrush that you put some of that color and splash it. So let's see, let's try it in this piece of paper. I don't want to do it on the actual painting. And we're gonna have a little bit of the color right there. See, that's very opaque. And then what you do is you put a little bit of point, and then you just with your finger, see, don't do that, that's not good. That's not good. That's why we need to try it on another paper. It's actually good that this happened. You just, I don't know, I should do it on this thing that is already painted so you can see the effect. See, that will have the idea of snow on the ground. So let's do that on the painting. that. And I want to have some of that snow in the tree. See that? And on the kids, maybe. And maybe on the snowman. It's getting a little bit. Put some water. Try it again on the another paper before this. There you go. And don't worry if it's a little too much. You just with the paper towel, you can move that. And with my paper towel, I will just clean up this one here, this one, and that's it. Okay, that's the last trick for this painting. Maybe you can work a little bit more on the hat, but I think almost we're done. Maybe I would just add more color on the shadow here. Of the tree, maybe some more over here. And if you want to put eyes or a little bit of face on the kid, maybe I add some hair here on the kid. Maybe it's a little girl, I don't know. And a little touch. His hair. And that's it. I think we're done. Thank you for watching.